Alright, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. How are you? I'm good. How are you? Okay. Welcome to my thoughts on Batman Arkham Asylum. Game's about 2 or 3 years old now. Obviously, I'm reviewing this in 2012. It took me about 8 hours to do a normal playthrough. I didn't go out of my way too much to do collectibles or anything, but I didn't just rush straight through the story. There was some exploration in there, just, checking out some of the I can't say side quests, but yeah, like collectibles, and I just kind of played the game the way a normal person would, I guess. Someone who's just looking for fun. But with that said, I enjoyed it, and with that, let's get it started. Alright, so starting off, first, we got story. I've kind of got a little beef going into this because I generally don't like comic books. Not for the wrong reasons, but mainly just because of the stories. Comics generally are more kid-friendly. They may have adult content, but at its heart, it's very lighthearted. There's usually barely any sacrifice. The characters are usually always the main characters are usually winners. The villains, they may be fucked up, but they don't straight out just go killing people like Massacre, like Columbine, or anything tragic like that. They kind of usually kill police officers, security guards, kind of people whose job is to protect people. But I don't like that idea of good guys always can win without sacrifice. But does this game kind of do that? Yeah, it does. I'll get into the plot, I guess. Batman, he captures Joker previous to the story, I guess. He brings him into Arkham Asylum or whatever. He's like, I'm not leaving this guy alone. I'm gonna follow him to his jail cell, make sure everything goes smoothly. You'll meet Commissioner Gordon along the way. You meet the Warden. You meet a couple other characters, but pretty much shit hits the fan. Joker gets, he breaks out or whatever. He starts running like havoc around the asylum actually really fast. This guy works really fast. So he starts messing up stuff. Batman's job is to go find him. Along the way you'll run into a bunch of Batman villains like Killer Croc, Poison Ivy, Scarecrow, Harley Quinn. There's not too many villains, but they are there. And you do kind of have your own little... I don't say you don't have too much story involving them, but they could be smaller, I guess you could say. You usually fight each of them in their own little boss area and stuff like that. But the story is very basic though. Batman's trying to find Joker. Along the way, he fights all these other bad guys, beats them obviously with no sacrifice. Along the way, he gets new abilities. You find out about new things like this new bio threat that's happening. You figure out what Joker's motive is and why it was so easy to get him to Arkham Asylum and all that. Yeah, I don't know. It's not a bad story. It's just very predictable, and it just doesn't appeal to me because I'm not really into that whole style, I guess. I will say it is pretty cool that they do kill off some characters that normally I would think, it's probably just gonna be like a little gag or something. But no, Joker, he flat out kills a bunch of people here and there. It's pretty nice. That's the one thing I like about Batman is, for one, I like Joker. He's psychotic, and he could be a little bit more psychotic, but he is still pretty psychotic. And I like the Batman. I like that he's against violence, like murdering, but he uses his technology to his advantage and shit. I like that. I wish it'd be cooler, like Metal Gear, where you're running around with a train gun, like headshotting everybody, putting them all to sleep, like that. But I will disapprove of the story though, just mainly because the characters don't develop, the plot is predictable, the story, I don't know. It doesn't appeal to me. So I will disapprove of the story, but if you are a Batman fan, you'll probably enjoy this. Going into the gameplay, Batman Arkham Asylum is I guess you could say, an over-the-shoulder, third-person sandbox action game. The world design is similar to what people refer to as Metroidvania, where you have this big area where I guess you could say a big map, and you explore the various hallways that lead into other areas, that lead into other hallways, that lead into other areas. And you have this massive area, basically, that you explore and get new abilities from, and you gotta use this grappling hook you get here, then you gotta use like this explosive gel you get over here to blow up this wall. It's not. They don't force you to use that on the level exploration. It's mainly for collectibles, which I do like that a lot. Like games with like Castlevania Symphony of the Night, where you have to go get the mist ability just so you can access this one room that is essential to progressing the story. I don't mind it, but at the same time, it's okay if it's done right. Like they don't put the items out of the way. This game, they don't put them out of the way. It's very straightforward. It's not linear, but it is pretty straightforward since you have a map marker. But yeah, I guess I can talk about some of the features. Basically, you explore the map, like I said. You go from room to room. Different rooms have different scenarios. Like, for example, you go into a room, there's like 3 guards. You can obviously just beat them up really badly. You'll start coming across guards with guns, so you'll have to be more stealthy and take out the gun guy first, then work your way over to the other thugs. Yeah, I don't know. It's pretty straightforward beat 'em up. X button is your melee button. You just combo, just punch by hitting X. Sometimes they'll hit you, which is pretty often. So you'll hit Y button to counter. Then you have like a stun button, which is your B button. You can jump. Like when you jump, you basically like flip over their shoulders to get behind them. You start upgrading your character by getting like different batarangs and grappling hooks, and you can actually twine them into your combos, which is pretty cool. The combos, like the beat 'em up mechanics, are actually pretty good. This is what this game is known for, and I can see why. It is a very fluid combat style. It's very good. But yeah, they introduced like detective mode, which is this X-ray. It's like this alternate vision mode where you can see X-ray, like you can see basically the X-rays of people. So you can see like skeletons through walls. Obviously, those people. Whenever you look at things, it'll give you information. Like in this room, there are currently 3 guards. One of them is armed with a gun. It's just kind of like a little information thing that pops up. And sometimes you'll have to do crime scenes. Like, alright, so there's fluid leaving this room. This must lead to the bad guy. So follow this fluid through room to room to room to room until you get to the bad guy. It's interesting, but yeah, I don't know. Just I felt like I was using it a little bit too much, just so I could see where all the enemies were. There's a lot of gadgets, which is pretty cool. There's actually, I think, 8 gadgets or so around there. You know, you get like your batarang, you get your explosives, you get your grappling hook, which can be used to like pull down like vent covers and stuff, and then you can just use your other grappling hook to shoot up into it. You get like a zipline launcher. You get remote controlled batarangs, which I didn't use. You get you can throw like 3 batarangs at one point. You kind of upgrade most of your weapons after you get the initial 4, pretty much. But that being said, though, that's quite a bit of gadgets. There's an upgrade system, so every time you kill an enemy, you get experience. Eventually, you can put that into, I think there's like 20 different things you can level up, which are just like single abilities. They don't actually expand or anything. But you know, you have like your armor upgrade, which gives you more health. You have your combos, which give you more combos. So you'll unlock like a combo that allows you to, when you're like above an enemy, you can like zip line down, grab them, and suck them back up like Spider-Man does. Not too much variety in the upgrade system, but there is quite a bit of things to unlock. And finally, there's this interesting health system they do in this game. Generally in, I guess, action games, your health just regenerates over time, or you'll pick up items to heal yourself. This game, experience works as health. So let's say you're in the middle of a fight, you take out like 10 guys, you're pretty hurt. After that battle's over, all of that experience hits your character, and so does your health. It rises back up. So it makes stealth a much more vital part of the game, which is pretty interesting. Alright, so I do approve of gameplay. There is not too much content, but there's quite a bit of depth to it. There's a lot of collectibles though. By the end of it, I was only like 60% done with the game. I was missing like, I don't even know, like 200 collectibles or so. So there's a lot of stuff in there for collectible guys. And there's also a challenge mode, so that you have like combo challenges, you have all these other ones I didn't look at. But there is quite a bit of challenges from what I understand. So I approve of gameplay, like I said. It's pretty good. Going into sound, there is a lot of good voice actors, but the music, where the hell is the music? I don't even remember the music in this game, aside from like the initial beginning cutscene, and that's basically it. I don't remember the music, but I can tell you it's probably average if I remember it correctly. It's just very, very cinematic, like cinema soundtrack, something you hear from a movie or something. So average soundtrack, but good voice acting. A lot of the like the original voice Batman animated voice actor, pretty good stuff. I approve of sound. As for my likes and dislikes, stealth combat is actually really fun. You know, you're zipping around the room really fast, taking out guys with stealth kills, and it's pretty fun. As for my dislike, the game over screen, this is very, very minor, kind of nitpicky, I guess. You pretty much just, it's like 20 seconds long. It feels very long, and I don't know, I didn't like it. But as for my overview, I'll say it's a good game, definitely worth a check out. Especially, I think it's a cheaper game. I rented it, but it's definitely worth a check out, even if you aren't a Batman fan. Just kind of like a beat 'em up or action guy kind of guy. Definitely worth a check out. Combat was pretty fun. Story may be a little basic, but I can't complain. I mean, I'm playing RPGs most of the time, so I'm used to these complex stories. But thanks for watching my Frazzleberry review. I will end the video here. Thank you for watching.